Hey, what's up, guys? Oh boy. I'm kind of at a loss of what more I can do with this game. Hey. Whee! That was totally built for mission 1. Ha! Sploosh. Your pilot can't go below the sand level. Well, this ain't gonna go well. Yep. So the question becomes, what do I do? Because I've pretty much finished all the content for the game that's currently in it. Sierra keeps saying coming soon, but it's not. And I've done all of the infinite races. As far as I care to, I mean, you can get really competitive with those, and I suppose that's one direction I could go. But I don't really care to put in the time and effort when there's other things. One thing I thought about is potentially spotlighting certain parts that I don't frequently use and saying how well, could I pick the level 15? Let's do that. Let's pick level 15, the hardest one on this planet, and say the design requirement for the ship is I have to use a component that I don't use very often. Like, for example, let's say the tri-wheel. Can I finish this level with the tri-wheel? Now, this is the first planet, and so it's probably trivially easy. But, for the sake of argument, let's give it a whirl, see where we go. And that could potentially translate into, let me put the weight closer to the front here, a format for future videos. Throw some batteries on. Let's see, we probably need some bumpers, so let's put a bumper on. Let's just see how far we get with that. Oh, this isn't the first planet, this is the third planet. Yes. Or second planet. Now, the tri-wheel is an interesting thing because it acts as its own... Yeah, I can't get out of that without some power. On this planet, I like to have a little more ground clearance. So let's just slide all these up. We'll pull that out, throw one of those on, and then let's toss these on there because they always point forward, which is never a bad thing. Let's see. Put my repair on. Why not? So it has its own kind of built-in bumper, but that could be both good and bad, as you can see right there. That just was bad. But if you can avoid getting it caught and stuff with a little bit of careful boosting, then it's actually rather nice. Okay, that didn't work at all. And with my things on the back, I can only drag myself, not flip. And almost made, some skills, moments there, but mostly that was just fail. And what do I want in there? How about... let's just take one of those. Let's take both of those off. Rotate that, stick it up there. And then let's put another wheel on. And let's grab this guy. We'll put him right there. I think I'm going to end up, this is not going to help me all that much, but at least the boosters can now right me. Yes. Well, that stunk. I guess my operating system decided I needed a message right in the middle of that. Let's see, how can we improve this? We need more bumper on the front to make it harder to flip. Let's grab this guy and stick him over there. Well, I don't know. Let's put these up there and put him right there. Give that a try. Yeah, that seems to be doing the trick. Keep that front end from getting caught quite so much. So yeah, interesting when the tri-wheel gets deflected from the center, the two flywheels to the sides get pulled inward. And that's interesting because it almost, well, I'm not sure how I could take advantage of that offhand. I'm sure if I put some thought into it, maybe wrote up some plans or something that's a lot more work than I care to do, I could find a way to capitalize on that. But until then, uh-oh. Well, let's just eke across the line there. So yes, I can finish that with the tri-wheel. Can I finish that with only the tri-wheel and not the other wheel? Yeah, that might be a little more difficult, but at least you get to see how the part works in action. And it makes a fairly good bumper on the front, as well as, it does give you a little bit of torque, but it's pretty low on the torque, as you saw from my earlier efforts. And yeah, it's not a grippy wheel. It's more for bumper. So you can use it. Let's have a look at its power requirements. Comparatively, it uses 50 power and has a max speed of 28. This, on the other hand, uses 36 power with a speed of 91. It's not grippy, but it's fast. The Snowman has a power of, it's almost the same power. Okay, now it's more powerful. It uses even more power, but its max speed is only 15. But you can see its friction is 45. This guy's friction is 40. Actually, that's not too bad. And this one's friction is 35. That's funny, the fast wheel's actually got more friction than the tri-wheel. That seems like an oversight from the part of the game designers. And I don't mean to call you out, but I'm totally calling you out. There's a lot of things that I could improve. One of the things is, trying to find, there's always a balance between, how many spaces the part takes up on the vehicle and what you get out of it. And you can see this fast wheel clearly is in all ways superior. It uses less power, gives you more speed, has better friction, and it only takes up 2 slots. As opposed to this one, which uses 4 slots. So there is absolutely no reason to use that if you can possibly get away with using the other. Okay. Let's actually run this, and we'll just see how that goes. Well, maybe I'll put that back the way it was. And let's grab another battery. See if we have more or less success with this wheel. Seems about the same so far, other than the whole it's quicker. It doesn't have as good of a bumper. You can see the parts are kind of janky. It keeps getting pulled underneath. Whoa! Yeah, that is some janky behavior there. What? Oh, no. Keep going. Keep going. Gotta finish. Got to finish the race. If you guys know Cool Runnings. Little reference there. Over rotate. Recovered. So yeah, that wheel does seem in all ways superior. It was a little janky, of course, but you know, that was fun. Oh boy. I guess the only one I can then check that against is this guy, and he, by example, runs 61 power, so he uses a lot more power. Has a friction of 30, which is, you know, totally the opposite of what this wheel was for in the first game, in the Rovercraft 1. This was the wheel with the most grip. Now in this one, it doesn't have nearly as much. And its max speed is only 21. It also makes a really good bumper. Let's pull that out, rotate that guy, and stick this on. Oops. Alright, keep going. So it just seems like some of these wheels are really unbalanced. Whoops. Well, this isn't going so hot. Think I can still make it to the finish line? I doubt it. But you know what? It might actually work. That would be hilarious if I can pull this off. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm totally gonna do it. Rode that explosion right out of there. That was awesome. So yeah, that one's about in the same boat as the tri-wheel. It's good for bumper. It gives you some cushion on the front, but it's not particularly grippy, and it doesn't have a particularly good amount of torque. So you want to use different wheels for that, depending on what your goal is. Now, the one thing I noticed that was odd is when I was building, if we go back to my video on Amaris, going for distance on Amaris, I used this wheel, and even though it had a really high power consumption, I was still able to get farther with that one than with some of the other wheels with a lot less consumption. And that really boggles my mind, because it seems like by the math, this one would suck through the juice a lot quicker than the other ones. But in practice, it got farther. And it couldn't have been just the bumper factor, because some of the other setups had better bumper factor. And I really just can't explain that. Yeah, worth looking into. Eventually. Have a great day, guys.